I just want to make an update video of how it has been since we had this disaster over here on our farm. On the 4th of April, we had a serious disaster. There was this rain that came, but the wind that came along with it was so heavy that it pulled down the penthouse, poultry penthouse we had over here. And in the process, while falling, it fell on the fence. The fence, this area, came down. The same rain broke this tree. And then the tree fell on this protector that we are constructing for another project over here. Luckily enough, the protector did a nice job protecting, as in he did his duty, although still unmounted. About 6 of them got damaged. We just suspended it. And then our fence came down as well. This is the progress so far. Not only our fence, a lot of people's fences came down, some people's houses came down, some roofs pulled off and all that. So this is what we are doing. The biggest priority to us over here in the farm is to cover up the fence, because it fell down. Apart from the one here that the poultry pen house fell on top, this one over here fell down and went round this other pen house, although it went midway the pen house. So this is what we've done. We are kind of too exposed right here, because we've been running this farm for quite some time, over 5 years now. But before the first day, we had fence, so we are not used to running an open premises. So we felt more exposed, and then we made the refencing a priority. This is part of the debris that came down. So for that reason, we had to mold blocks. We are still raising the fence anyway. It happened on 4th April. We used the 2 weeks there to mold blocks. That's the blocks we are using here now. We also have blocks over there. We molded over 2,000 blocks, because by estimation, that's the number we need to bring this fence back. Although probably we may not be finishing it, because our fence, we are not going to be raising it as high as it was before. Secondly, when we came over to this area to farm, we noticed the way they normally make their fence pillars. They change the direction of 2 blocks, something like this. I don't know the right word to use for it. Yeah, they turn 2 blocks, raise it up and use it as pillar. But for the area of the fence that fell down, what we are doing is we are putting iron pillars and casting them. Yeah, we've raised this block to like 5 coaches for now, then put iron and casted them to make it stronger. Now the pillar is just like, it's deeper than the fence itself. It's deeper than the blinding of the fence, to help us grip this better, because this reconstructing after disaster like this is okay, there's no problem. But doing it the second time, that's where a major problem is. Although this is not part of the budget, it was not planned. We are just going out of our way to do this, and it's affecting kind of production, because since this year we've been saving a lot of money by constantly stocking birds. Like we stock birds January in this pen house, and when they were 5 weeks old, we brought another batch here. February, 2nd week of February. That one was to target for Easter. Then March, we brought another one here, because the ones here have been sold off. We replaced the batch here. And then it was beginning of April that this issue happened. So we transferred the matured birds that were here to the extreme end of this poultry and completed their raising and sold them off for the seller. We have birds here currently. The birds are 24 days old. We still get to that place. So constantly running broilers in 2 different pens constantly every month saves us a lot of money. In that, number one, it saves the cost of paying salary. Because normally, you know, when you run broilers for 6 weeks, you have to pay the farm attendants for 2 months. That's for each batch of broilers. You're paying them for 2 months, because after the 6 weeks, it might take you 1 week to sell off the entire broilers, and then the next week to wash the pen house and let it stay until you feel that it's disinfected enough for you to bring in restock. So doing all this takes like 8 weeks, which is you are paying the farm attendant for 2 months for a particular batch. But running birds here and here every month, you end up saving, like our farm attendants earn 1,000 naira every day. So for the course of 30 days, in a month they earn 30,000 naira. But running here and here at the same time, you notice that a farm attendant is earning 30,000 naira for 1.5 batch. You get the point? So what we did here is for this reason, we are suspending the construction of the pen house for now. Although we are going to be doing something more, we are going to be doing an alternative anyway, because by this time this month we are supposed to be planning to restock by next week. By the time that this ones will get to 5 weeks old, the best over here. But the priority is just to raise the fence. And out here, this is the progress so far. We molded block. We are no longer using this block system to do the pillars. We are now using proper pillars. And although we are not yet done, it's still a work in progress. It's still a work in progress. All the pillars have not yet been casted. We are just doing, cost of material these days is expensive. And since we are going to be casting these pillar ones, and there will be no need for the planks. We didn't buy enough planks to go around for the pillars. So we bought planks that can only be able to cast like 9 pillars at a time. The next day, like a day like this morning, when the workers come, the carpenter will transfer the planks here to the next pillars, and then they cast it and still continue the block work to raise our fence back. Yeah, everywhere looks careless over here now, because officially the farm turned to a construction site again. Even no one has time to do any other thing other than just being vigilant mainly at night, and it affects us the next day, because someone who didn't sleep well the previous night won't really be well focused the next day or too active to work properly. So any small opportunities we get, someone has to just go lie down and sleep. Okay, another readjustment we did is that this fence now, we decided to introduce a gate. So we decided to introduce gate here in the middle plot. This is the place, this area that has opening. We are going to be putting gates there. And also we are introducing pedestrian gates at the back of this poultry house. We are introducing pedestrian gates at the back of this poultry house. See, everywhere is just so messed up. Our vegetables have not been weeded for almost 2 weeks, because no one has their time right now. The priority is just to fence this place and then probably look for an alternative way to raise the birds. So when the collapse happened, we had to transfer the birds, the matured birds that were there, to this area of this pen house. But we've sold them, washed and disinfected it properly. And these were the chicks that we are brooding then. Today is their 24th day. They are now turning adults gradually. We are heading to the 28th day to mark the completion of their 4th week. They are doing well. not minding the stress of introducing a different batch down there. But you know, when this kind of things happen in the farm, some of the protocols and some of the there are some major adjustments that happen. But no matter what it is, we are still making sure that these ones get their maximum care, because this construction was never part of the plan. It was never in the budget. So we are stepping all out to do things that we never budgeted for, which is necessary. And we are hoping that these guys are just going to be the ones to kind of give us something to fall back on this particular batch, while we work on use the things we have for other batches to like stabilize back again. So in farming, this is one of the things, in fact in all businesses, this is one of the things that you don't anticipate, but nobody mentions about it, but you still got to stay focused and move on. It's called will I say it's a God factor? No, it's a natural disaster anyway. It happens. Some people's business catch fire, get burnt. They will still have to continue business and move forward. But it's just that it's happening the wrong time. The wrong time, where we are fighting inflation, cost of materials are high. Our dollar, yes, the government is doing a nice job trying to bring down the dollar and stabilize it. But the problem with that, the problem we are still having upon the progress of Naira appreciation over the dollar, is that cost of materials are still high. Nothing have come down in the market. But it's what it is. Business still continues. So this is the nature of the former penthouse. We've lost the zinc. Use some of the zinc to amend one or two places that the disaster affected, like the other zincs in the compound. This is the remaining one. And then the woods that we are used to construct the zinc, they are these ones. We'll still use it to construct. So this is the alternative we have in mind. Right now, we cannot construct a new penthouse because we are more focused on covering the perimeter. We can't construct penthouse and leave everywhere open. So what we'll be doing is we are going to be doing an alternative construction where we'll be using only wood. We'll be constructing it like cage, but it's going to be using wood, almost the same way that broiler cages are constructed, but we are going to be using wood. The only wood for the framing, but the in between will be the same net, the net surrounding it and the net under, whereby they can shit, defecate, and it will drop down. Someone can easily slide it out and throw it away and continue the system. And what we're constructing now is just something that can enable us to keep running our getting base every month. We get a new batch every month. We'll get another new batch. So what we're going to be constructing is just something that can be able to carry the base for 3 weeks. 2 weeks for brooding, and maximum extra 1 week, making it 3 weeks. So that by then, if we are to restock base that will raise for 3 weeks, that means the base we are raising in this penthouse should be around 5 weeks. On their 5th week, we introduce another set of base that will be brooding inside the alternative construction we are going to be doing. So that before they complete their 2 weeks, we must have sold off every bed that we have there. Then wash the penthouse, probably let it stay on its own for extra 1 week. And by then, the alternative construction and the new base will be like 3 weeks old. Then we'll take them into the already washed and disinfected penthouse over there. Wash and disinfect the brooder we are going to be constructing. And that's just the way we can use to stabilize a little bit and keep the production and the rearing going. So that's what we're going to be using this wood for, to do the construction. And then this zinc, the only thing we're going to be buying is we're going to be buying a carpenter's labor, manpower, and also if these woods are not enough, we'll get more. And then the nets that we are going to be using. So that's it for this video. I just want to give you an update of it's still a farm diary anyway. If I had a fiscal diary I was writing, I'll still be writing all these things down. Who knows who might be reading it in the future. But this is a video I'm showing to you now to just give you an update of things that are happening here, how we are gradually bouncing back. All is well. What happened is just a natural disaster. Ours is not even the worst. You get the point? Because some people, their new houses fell down. Some upstairs came down. Schools have resumed right now, but some schools have not resumed because some of them were affected by the disaster and they are still trying to rebuild. That's it for now. See you later.